Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to ArkanTalk. We have a special guest today, the world-renowned Kait Hill. Kait, thank you so much for coming on ArkanTalk. For those who don't know, tell them a little bit about yourself and the amazing work that you're doing.
All right, well, my name is Kait. I am with Rock City Digital. We are a digital marketing company here in Little Rock, and we do everything online for businesses. So we've been around for a little over 3 years now, and we're just rocking and rolling.
And don't sell yourself short, Kait. Award-winning Rock City Digital. Tell the people about the Small Business 30 Under 30 award that you recently received.
Yes, so I won the Small Business Owner Under 30 for the Little Rock Chamber, like the Little Rock region. I won that this past year. It was really exciting. I was kind of shocked. I didn't think I would win, I was really excited to receive the award and the recognition from them.
Yeah, most definitely. Congrats. A big, huge congrats on that. I've been a Rock City Digital fan for a couple of years now. I knew Clay from the different things that he was doing in Conway, so I'm essentially as glad to meet you. So early beginnings, tell everybody where you grew up.
So I grew up in Arkansas, all over though. So I've probably lived in 30 different houses far. My dad's job traveled a lot, but I graduated from Benton, and then I moved to Little Rock and was living here full time for 5 years. So I call Little Rock home.
And I did a little homework. And I saw that you were involved in politics a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell? Let's start with that. Tell us a little bit about your involvement in politics. We'll start there.
Yeah, for sure. So I was going through college, did a political science class, and fell in love with it. I love everything about political science, textbook-wise, and then I took a semester off, decided to work in politics, and worked for a little over a year with hired campaigns across the state, and decided that that was not the life for me. It was awesome. I loved the people that I worked with, but it was definitely a lifestyle versus a career. So no work-life balance, working 80 hours a week, 7 days a week. Decided that I wanted to be able to actually live my life a little bit instead of just work it away forever.
How did it feel like to leave that world? Because from what I was understanding, that you were pretty good at it. You were always in the top tiered percentage of reaching out to people and getting donations for fundraisers and things. But what was it like to just leave from something that you were good at?
It was a little scary at first, I will definitely say that, but it was also a bit relieving to know that I would have a little bit more control over my life. I still kept in touch with political people. I still have people from politics reach out to me all the time, so I'm not fully removed. But it was definitely scary to get out of something that I knew I was good at and I knew the right people, but you always got to take that step, right?
Always. So from there, and fast forward into Rock City Digital, how was that idea kind of birthed or created?
Yeah, so actually when I was working in politics, I was working on a petition downtown, and I saw this guy across the street and had been outside for 8 hours, and he had 2 dogs. And I didn't care if he signed my petition, I just wanted to go see the dog. So I went over there, hung out with him for a minute and convinced him to sign the petition. And so he was actually the digital sales manager at KARK at the time. And so we started hanging out, and I told him what I didn't like about working in politics and what I wanted in a career. And he got me on the digital marketing path. And so I worked for a digital marketing company downtown for a little over 2 years. And in that time, I really liked it. I love digital marketing, grew up with it, understand it, just makes sense to me. And I realized at that 2-year mark that I really didn't have control over anything. I'd go to management and say, hey, this is what's wrong. This is a way to fix it. Can we do it? Big corporations, you can't really do that kind of thing. And so I started looking into starting my own agency and was researching for a couple of months. And then when I met Clay at a networking group, we decided to just do it.
And here we are now, Rock City Digital. I know digital marketing is kind of your job. Is that, would you consider it a hobby?
Not sure if it's a hobby per se. It's funny because digital marketing is like the entire company and exactly everything we do. And I love social media, but at the same time, since I work in it now, you try to get away from it when you're not working in it. So you've got to take a little break because, Facebook and Instagram, they're so much fun, but if you're in it 8 hours a day, usually when you're at home, you're like, all right, time for a little break.
Absolutely. And that just made me think of something. And this is a question that just came to mind. For someone out there who is on social media and they want to make the biggest impact that they can,
Right.
what would you suggest to them that they can do away from social media, still to be in front of people?
Like off of social media
Yeah.
to bring them on
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
I mean, what we did with ours is we hosted workshops, right? So
There
we
you go.
hosted free workshops for the community so they could come in and we would legitimately teach them our tips and tricks for how we run business. And because we were able to give that in-person value to them, they were more receptive online and they would immediately follow us or leave us reviews about the workshop, and they were way more interactive online.
Awesome. So I listened to your playlist. There were definitely a couple of female empowerment anthems on there, and that really struck me because it seems like nowadays that there is a growing movement among females, more for women's rights and things. So the term that came to mind is girl boss.
Yeah.
So what do you think that term means, or can you just kind of describe with those anthems? You had Lizzo, you had Ariana Grande, Daya, a couple more people on there, but just what goes into just that female empowerment movement for you?
You know, we grew up, or our parents really grew up, where women were like the household people. They would cook the food, they would clean the houses, and we really started seeing a transition with technology and with education and furtherment. And so to me, to be able to say, hey, look, I know like 50 years ago things were so much different, but we've made so much progress. It's really cool. And even if you look at our company, most of the people that work in our company are women. And it just shows the value that we bring that people didn't think that we could bring, you know? And so music like that, I think for women these days is just so empowering to say, hey, look, we're as good, if not better than you guys. Like we can still do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely applaud you for everything that you're doing in the technology world, because often that's a male dominant industry. So what made you just interested in technology in the first place? Like, was that something that you knew early? Like kindergartner, I want to be a coder or something like that? Or where did that passion come from?
So actually, when I was younger, I remember we had dial-up internet and like our first computer, and I would just go in there and be able to play with, it was legitimately just PowerPoint. And I remember just enjoying like figuring out how to make things look a certain way. And I am not a graphic designer by any stretch. But I love how online and like tech can give you such big efficiencies and make you work way smarter and not harder.
There you go.
And that's always been my life motto, work smarter, not harder. And so being in tech has just really propelled that. Again, I thought I was going to do, like, I wanted to be a U.S. Senator when I was younger. So I had no clue I'd actually work in this arena. But growing up with it, you know, it really just made sense.
Awesome. Let me ask you this. What would you say to that young Kate now? If you were able to go back in time and give her a message, what would you tell her?
It's all worth it. Just keep working hard. I've worked very hard ever since I was 15 years old. Had jobs where I was working 6 to 7 days in high school, 6 to 7 days in college. So I was always working. But I feel like I have an advantage now because since I started when I was 15 working that much, basically full time, I was able to go through things much quicker and have 4 or 5 years on the working force longer than people my age. So because of that, I just learned a lot.
Oh yeah, awesome. What's on the horizon for Rock City Digital? What's to come?
Oh man, there's a lot on the horizon for Rock City Digital.
I know
So last year we were the fastest growing agency in Little Rock.
Wow.
And that was super exciting. But one thing that I started to notice was what we were doing wasn't sustainable long term. We weren't growing in the right way. So in 2019, I decided to pause. We decided to double down on communication services, make sure that everything was up to par to be able to actually grow. So it was a pause year for infrastructure. And so we have about 6 more months of like really getting that down. Everyone that's with us now has been with us over a year, so no one's in training mode anymore. We're bringing in really high-level consultants to really push us even further. But right now we're focusing on making sure we have all 3 of our main products completely down, and then we are looking at other things such as AI, voice optimization, those kind of things that are definitely coming, and we just want to be on the forefront.
Awesome. Here's the hot seat question. We ask everybody who comes on the show this question. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what do you want Kait Hill's legacy to be?
I want to be someone that truly helps other people find their way in life.
Yeah.
That is one thing I've always enjoyed. Ever since I was a kid, my boyfriend, he actually makes fun of me. He's like, what do you get out of helping your friends find out what they want to do?
Yeah.
And I'm like, just joy from them being happy.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, honestly, Rock City Digital, my favorite part about it is the people inside of it.
Absolutely.
Taking care of them, watching them grow, watching their families grow, just being able to say, hey, look, I help them along in life.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you're doing, and not only at Rock City Digital, but just to influence the culture here in Little Rock. Anytime you want to come on, you always have an open seat here at ArkanTalk.
Thank you.
Kait Hill, everybody. You can see her social media handles as well as links to her curated 7 for 7 playlist and the Rock City Digital page listed on our blog post. Make sure you tune in next week for more ArkanTalk. Thank you.